Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly succeed in life, while others struggle despite their best efforts? Perhaps it's not just about the effort we exert, but the questions we ask ourselves. Questions have the power to unlock new perspectives and lead us towards profound understanding. Could the key to success be as simple as surrendering fully, letting go of resistance, embracing the unknown? The secret might just lie in the art of total surrender. So, what does it mean to surrender fully? Surrender is often misunderstood. It's not about waving the white flag in defeat, but rather about releasing the need for control. It's about allowing life to unfold naturally, letting go of the reins, and trusting the journey. Consider the tale of a successful businessman. Let's call him John. John was a stickler for details, a man who lived his life according to a meticulously crafted plan. He was convinced that his success was a direct result of his control over every minute aspect of his business. However, this need for control began to take a toll on his health and personal life. One day, John met a wise mentor who introduced him to the concept of surrender. The mentor explained that surrender is not about giving up control, but about trusting the process. It's about understanding that you can't possibly control every variable, and that's okay. It's about accepting that sometimes things will not go according to plan, and that can lead to unexpected opportunities. With skepticism, but a glimmer of hope, John decided to give it a try. He started by delegating more, trusting his team, and focusing on the bigger picture rather than obsessing over minor details. Initially, it was challenging, but as he practiced surrendering, he started noticing a shift. His stress levels decreased, his relationships improved, and to his surprise, his business started thriving in ways he hadn't imagined. John's story is a testament to the power of surrender. It showed him that by letting go of the illusion of control, he could open himself up to opportunities that were previously obscured by his need to manage every detail. In essence, surrender is about embracing uncertainty, accepting that life is unpredictable, and trusting that even when things don't go according to plan, they can still work out for the best. Surrendering fully doesn't mean giving up. It means embracing the unknown. You might be wondering, is there any science to back this up? Well, I'm glad you asked, because the answer is a resounding yes. The concept of surrender is not only rooted in philosophical and spiritual traditions, but also in modern scientific theories and research. One such fascinating theory is the idea of the flow state, a concept that has been extensively studied by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Flow, as he describes, is a state of being where individuals perform at their best when they are fully immersed and surrender to the process. It's the zone where time seems to stand still, and you lose yourself in the task at hand. This state of flow, which essentially is a state of surrender, has been found to boost creativity, increase productivity, and even enhance overall happiness. It's like a superpower that we can tap into, where we allow ourselves to be carried by the current of our abilities and passions, rather than fighting against them. Now you might be thinking, that sounds great, but how does it actually work? Well, neuroscience has some compelling answers. When we enter a state of flow, our brain undergoes a process called transient hypofrontality, where the prefrontal cortex temporarily downregulates. This is the part of the brain responsible for self-monitoring and self-criticism. In other words, we let go of our inner critic and surrender to the process, allowing our intuition and creativity to take the lead. Moreover, recent research in the field of positive psychology has shown that individuals who practice surrender, in the form of acceptance and letting go, experience lower levels of stress and anxiety. They are more resilient, more open to new experiences, and more likely to lead fulfilling lives. So the science is not just suggesting, but rather confirming, that surrender is not a sign of weakness or giving up. It's a powerful strategy to unlock our true potential and achieve optimum mental and physical performance. The science is clear. Surrendering fully can lead to peak performance and fulfillment. Now the real question is, how does one surrender fully? A question that perhaps many of us have pondered. Well, the answer lies in a series of practical steps that can guide us on this path. First and foremost, we need to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being present in the moment, focusing on the here and now rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. It's about acknowledging our feelings, thoughts, and sensations as they arise, without judgment or resistance. By cultivating mindfulness, we become more aware of our internal world, fostering a sense of peace and acceptance that facilitates surrender. Next, we must learn to let go of expectations. Expectations, while they can sometimes motivate us, often lead to disappointment and stress when they're not met. We become attached to specific outcomes or ways of being, and when reality doesn't match our ideal, we suffer. By releasing these expectations, we open ourselves to the full range of possibilities that life offers. This doesn't mean we should abandon our dreams or goals, but rather, we should hold them lightly, ready to adapt and shift as circumstances change. Lastly, embracing uncertainty is a key component of surrender. Life is inherently uncertain, and while this can be unsettling, it's also a source of infinite potential. When we try to control everything, we limit our experiences and our growth. But when we surrender to uncertainty, we step into the flow of life, allowing it to guide us towards new opportunities and insights. In essence, surrender is about embracing life as it is, rather than as we think it should be. It's about releasing control and opening ourselves to the ebb and flow of existence. And remember, surrender is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. It's a practice, a daily choice, to let go and embrace what comes. Surrender is a journey, not a destination, and every step on this path brings us closer to a state of peace, acceptance, and freedom. Surrender is a practice, a daily choice to let go and embrace what comes. So, what happens when you start to surrender fully? Well, imagine you're a ship caught in a storm. The waves are tossing you to and fro, and you're desperately trying to maintain control. But the more you fight, the more you struggle, the stronger the storm seems to get. Now imagine instead that you surrender to the storm. You stop fighting against the waves and allow them to carry you. Suddenly the storm doesn't seem so terrifying anymore. You found a sense of peace amidst the chaos. That's the power of surrender. It's about releasing the need for control, the need to constantly steer the ship. And when you do that, when you let go, something incredible happens. You find peace. But it's not just about peace, it's about happiness too. When you're constantly trying to control everything, it's easy to get caught up in your own expectations, your own desires. You're so focused on what you want, on what you think you need, that you miss out on the joy of the present moment. Surrender is about letting go of those expectations, about accepting what is and finding joy in that acceptance. And then there's success. Now you might be thinking, but how can I be successful if I'm not in control? The truth is, surrender doesn't mean giving up on your goals or aspirations. It means understanding that you don't have control over everything, but you do have control over yourself. You have control over your actions, your reactions, your mindset. And when you focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't, you open yourself up to success in a way you may have never even considered. Take a moment to consider a kite. It flies high not because it controls the wind, but because it surrenders to it. It's a beautiful illustration of what can be achieved when we surrender fully. By surrendering fully, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities you may have never even considered. Let's recap what we've learned today. We've delved into the compelling power of questioning and the profound art of surrender. We've explored the fascinating science underpinning surrender, and we've learned practical steps to achieve it. The potential benefits are immense, from increased mental clarity to profound personal growth. Remember, surrender is not about giving up. It's about letting go and embracing life as it comes. Are you ready to surrender fully?